Is my, excellent, it is working. Welcome, thank you so much. We're thrilled you could all join us today. I think there are still some people getting some breakfast, which I thoroughly recommend. We selected this location for its excellent breakfasts. Thank you all for coming today. We are thrilled so many of you could make it despite the challenging weather. My name is Nathan Hunt, and I will be serving as your Master of Ceremonies for this morning's event. Just some logistical details before we begin. We have a packed agenda for you all this morning. After some introductory remarks, we have 4 different sessions. Each session will be followed by a brief opportunity for you all to ask questions. Please don't be shy. There will be a break mid-morning so you can top up your blood sugar and talk to your fellow attendees. If you haven't had a chance yet, I would encourage you to check out some of our demo stations outside where we are demoing some of the products that S&P Global has developed to use AI technologies. All of you are welcome to stay for the afternoon session. The agenda for the afternoon session, if you were unaware there was an afternoon session, will be quantum computing, opportunities, risks, and implications for enterprises, which is being jointly presented by S&P Global and IBM. Now I will hand things off to a man who epitomizes S&P Global's commitment to AI technology. Bhavesh Dayalji is the Chief Executive Officer of Kensho Technologies and the Chief AI Officer at S&P Global. So Bhavesh, let's get us started.
Thanks, Nathan. Thank you, Nathan, and thank you all for joining us. It's an honor for me to welcome you all here at our AI in the Markets event. We're really here today to talk about the impact of AI can have on your businesses, on our customers, and what we're doing specifically on AI. I see a lot of familiar faces in the audience, so thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. As Nathan said, it's mixed conditions out there, so hopefully you're enjoying yourselves with some nice breakfast as well. Look, I think when I think of S&P Global, I think of a company that's on the cutting edge. And the reason why is AI is actually in our DNA. And what I like to say is AI is something that S&P Global was doing when AI wasn't cool. In 2018, they acquired Kensho Technologies, which I get the honor of leading with our excellent team. And we've been deploying AI across S&P Global and making sure like we can keep our products at the cutting edge and help our customers accelerate their workflows with our AI. If you go on S&P Global's marketplace, you'll see a lot of our AI offerings there, whether it's data extraction capabilities, whether it's entity linking capabilities, or ways in which we're connecting data to your workflows using AI. And I think what's interesting about that is like we've been doing that diligently across S&P Global and our customers, and then ChatGPT happened, and then all of a sudden everybody made AI a core part of their agenda. Well, we've been doing it for a while, and actually what's been interesting about that work that we've been doing is that we've been able to really help our customers and think through like what is it that they're going to have their challenges with. And I'd like to talk a bit more about those challenges before we kind of kick off today's session. You know, when I think of S&P Global's AI strategy, it really first starts with the data. You know, how do we optimize our data to interact with powerful AI models to accelerate workflows? That's what we're doing at S&P Global. I'm really excited that you're going to hear from my colleague, Frank Tarsillo, specifically talking about optimizing data for large language models and generative AI applications. That's going to be really, really important. Many of you already know AI is only going to be as good as the data that you feed it and also the data that you connect it to. Otherwise, you're going to get issues with hallucinations. It's actually not going to be correct for the workflow that you need. And you're often going to be left in this kind of POC demo world where you're not actually driving value like everybody wants to do with AI. That's going to be really, really important. And recently we released our LLM-ready API, our Kensho LLM-ready API, and that's really important. And I encourage you all to go check that out. And the reason why is, you know, we're connecting into these powerful ecosystems that are being built, whether it's Microsoft's Copilot tools or ChatGPT. I think that's really going to be an important part of our agenda as S&P Global, and also helping our customers accelerate their journeys with generative AI. Secondly, it's about experiences, generative AI experiences that we can enable. When you think about what we do right now in the platforms, whether it's our platforms at S&P Global or yours, you're clicking, you're trying to discover the content that you are trying to get to accelerate workflows. With generative AI, you can build these very powerful, intuitive customer experiences that drive value across your product offerings, and increasingly, the discoverability becomes easier and easier for your workflows. I think what's really interesting about that is that it's not easy. And connecting data, connecting generative AI experiences, connecting how those applications impact your workflows is not trivial. And I think talking about how you connect all of that together is going to be more important to our offerings, but also how you all think about your product journeys as it relates to products that you are selling in the marketplace. Finally, it's about culture, AI culture specifically in organizations. At S&P Global, we've made sure that we've made AI a core part of everything that we do. We recently launched our generative AI productivity tool, Spark Assist, which my colleague Sam, Chief Product Officer of Kensho, is actually demoing out there. I encourage you to go look at it. What we're doing with that tool is amazing. We've got close to 30,000 people that have used that tool internally at S&P Global. And increasingly, we're using that tool to accelerate workflows of our people and also think through how can we innovate on behalf of our customers. More of our data, more of our offerings being connected through tools like Spark Assist is actually how we're going to drive change across our organization. But more importantly, how we think about the future of work with AI at the core of everything that we do. It's also about training. We've created training programs for all of our people at S&P Global to embrace the impact of generative AI technology and AI more broadly. I think it's also important to acknowledge, as I said earlier, that AI has been around for a long time. And so it's not just about generative AI. It's also about how can you leverage AI broadly to rethink your technology stack, to rethink how you go to work, to rethink how you do workflows. And that's going to be more and more important. I'm really excited about today's events, one of which in particular, later on, I'm going to be on a panel with my colleague Sally Moore, Chief Customer Officer of S&P Global, and David Griffith, who's the CTO of Citibank. That's going to be an amazing session about how we think about AI, its impact, and transformation. What's really fascinating about this journey that we're all on is we can't do it alone. And actually hearing experiences from you, sharing our experiences and best practices is going to be a great part of today. And I'm really excited about that. With that, I'm going to hand it off to my colleague, Frank Tarsillo, to talk about AI-ready data.